Scout has a large arsenal of weapons in TF2, and it may be hard to decide which one you use. Which one is good and which one is bad? Well, fear not. I have a solution. I've decided to play with all Scout's weapons, and I'm going to tell you which ones you need to be the ideal Scout. The stock scattergun is just a solid shotgun. There's nothing too remarkable about it. It does good damage and it has no downsides. Stock. It's probably one of, if not the best shotgun. Although, using it immediately after the Force of Nature is a little bit difficult.
Thanks, Pally!
Look guys, it's a funny shove weapon! Do the shove! Whoa! Okay, who actually uses this unless you're just doing it for the shove? The weapon on its own is okay. The 4-shot clip gets a little bit annoying because I'm bad. But it seems like it might be good if you are also good. The downside of more push force towards you is barely even a downside. Because if you get launched off a cliff or something, you can just jump back on if you have the right weapons. It's barely even an issue. But the shove's so funny! Ah, the soda popper. So I actually used this a lot when I started out, because I thought it was good. I was told it was good. Nope, it's alright at best. Its one unique thing is hype, which is a good utility. Or at least it would be, if you didn't have to do 350 damage to get full hype. That's a whole medic soldier combo at full HP. It was way better when all you had to do was move. And the double barrel handicap is supposed to be made up for 25% faster reload speed. I feel insulted. How do people think this is good? So this is just a soda popper, but better. Like seriously, this thing can get you 3 jumps. 4 or 5 if you use the super mobility loadout. There are 2 main ways to use the Force of Nature. The movement style, where you use the Force of Nature to jump more. Or there's the Scout.
Here you go.
It's fun, but you get verbally abused by 30-year-olds with anime profile pictures. The backscatter is, as far as I'm concerned, Scout's worst primary. Seriously, it's just stock, but worse. The mini crit on the back is just bad. It's not helpful at all. 81 damage, yay! It's got 1 upside, which is bad, and it's got 3 downsides. Although, I don't really consider no random crits a downside. Random crits are fair and balanced. So it's just not good at all. I feel like there's a group of very defensive people out there who say, "Oh, it's just my opinion." But no, your opinion is wrong and you're stupid. The Babyface Blaster is a great weapon. I'd probably put it as Scout's 3rd best primary. The boost isn't really hard to get, unlike the soda popper. Bring back the old soda popper! But I think it's good how quickly you can get your boost back. It's annoying how quickly you can lose it, but, once again, it means nothing when you can get it back so quick. Other downside of slower speed isn't even that bad. It's just an all-round good weapon. Hot take, the pistol is not actually that good. Yeah, it's a good finisher, but it fires slowly on Scout, and even when your enemy is on like 60 HP, you have to be right up in their face. And even then, it takes 6 shots. God help you if your enemy's playing anything other than medic, because you're dead. There's another secondary which I prefer, and it's way better than pistol. Which reminds me, the Winger is some top-tier stuff, and it's just a straight upgrade to stock. The reduced clip size doesn't really affect you if you're using it as a finisher, because you can just switch to your shotgun. And if you're using it for mobility, which most people are, it doesn't even affect you. I use it for both because you can get higher jumps and go behind lines. I would say it's probably Scout's best secondary. The Pretty Boys pocket pistol is just meh. It kind of balances out the upsides and the downsides, and it just becomes an okay weapon. It sounds pretty good on paper, but in execution it's not the best. When you're in a battle, the 3 health on hit really doesn't help you all that much if you're already taking damage. And the extra firing speed, for me at least, just makes it harder to hit things if you aren't used to it. It's just a chance to miss your target, but faster. This weapon's really only used for the Bleed Scout playstyle, which makes me want to jump off a cliff. But on its own, it's not that good. The 50 base damage and the 3 or 4 bleed damage really isn't that great because it would just be easier to pull out your shotgun, which does the same, if not more damage. And yeah, the cleaver is good at range, but have you got any idea how hard it is to hit your cleaver from a long range? It isn't really all that great unless you pair it with the Rap Assassin, then it's just a little tiny bit overpowered. The bonk, from what I understand, is an incredibly useful tool for flanking. It also seems to be really good for sentry jumping. Like, if you jump in front of a sentry, it just propels you, which is good for getting to the back lines. Unfortunately, I'm bad at flanking, so I can't really say how good this is. Unfortunately, there's a slow after taking damage while invulnerable, which kinda messes up your whole operation, because after that amazing sentry jump, you walk at the pace of a heavy. So if you accidentally land near the enemy team, you are screwed. The Criticola is not a good weapon. Sorta sucks because it's called the Criticola, not the Mini Criticola. And the recharge time is way too long because the 5 seconds of mini crits is not really worth it. But it is pretty good in MVM. It's very funny. The Mad Milk is a pretty good weapon for getting back lost HP and for extinguishing teammates. But let's be honest, all people use this is for the funnies of hurling cum at people. But it really is nice to receive help from Scout of all classes. The Sun on a Stick sucks. Seriously, if an enemy's already on fire, they're gonna be running away. So just shoot them with your gun. This is about as useful as the Neon Annihilator. Except the Neon Annihilator can be of good use when you're playing Pyro Shock. But you don't have pits of fire in the middle of maps like you do with water. And when you find a player who's on fire, you shouldn't go up to them within melee range because they're just gonna pull out a gun and shoot you right in your face. There's way better options than this piece of crap weapon. Do not use this. This weapon is bad. The whole point of a melee is that it's the last resort, and the Boston Basher punishes you heavily for missing a shot. It defeats the whole point of a melee battle. No one hits every shot, and if you miss 6 shots, you're dead. And that's not even accounting for the shots that your enemy's gonna hit on you. Although, I hear it's good for building Uber with medics, but that's really its only use. In my opinion, the Candy Cane is just thoroughly average. Okay, yeah, if you've just finished a massive melee battle and you're only on 1 HP, then it's useful. But even then, 26 HP is gonna make you one-shot to pretty much all weapons. It would be better if it was a medium health kit that dropped, but as it stands, this is probably the second most useful melee for Scout. The Rap Assassin is annoying. The only way to use it is Bleed Scout, and that just makes me want to do-do-do-do. But as a melee, this weapon sucks big dookie. 65 damage penalty is a huge issue, and it feels as effective as, well, hitting people with a roll of cardboard. Bonk. The Sandman is bad. Shocker. Come to think of it, most Scout melees are bad. This one is just the Rap Assassin but worse. The Ball does jack in my experience, and making the class with the lowest HP have lower health is just bad. And I know people are gonna go, lol, the kunai, but no. It's not the same, and you're dumb for thinking that they're even slightly the same. Because the kunai gives more HP, and you're forgetting, it insta-kills. The Atomizer is probably my favorite melee. It's a good utility for movement, which is the only reason people use it. Which makes a 50% slower deploy speed obsolete, because you can just do the triple jump without it being fully deployed. This is my personal favorite, but it's definitely not the best for combat. The Fan of War is just... Guys, what's another word for bad? Sounds good until you realize there's a minus 75% damage penalty. The only reason that this isn't dead last is because you can use it to help your team when you mark people for death. But even then, it's just a mini crit, so it's not that great. But if all you want is a good melee weapon, then you can just pair this with the Criticola. Now, I know you've all been waiting to find out how to be the ideal Scout. And these are the weapons you need. You need to use the Scattergun, the Winger, and stock melee. So that's all of them. I had to really restrain myself to not talk about how much I hate Bleed Scout. But that's all for now. See ya. Oh. What's this? Let's print. Oh! Scout! No! Scout, no!